So hello everyone, and welcome to another event. I'm Slim from SHA. I work as the education manager at SHA, and we are thrilled today to have Harout Mardirossian with us. I hope I didn't butcher your name, Harout. And cool. So, and today we will talk with Harout about Python for programming and some other cool stuff. So at SHA, let me give you some context. So at Social Hackers Academy, we are trying to democratize tech education and help refugees, asylum seekers, unemployed people, and migrants to land jobs in the tech field. We mainly provide the front-end web development course or career track. So it's a 6-month course. We've been doing it 4 years so far. We started as an offline coding school, and then with COVID situation and so on, we switched it to fully online. And it turned out to be a good decision because now we have more reach and we have students from almost all over the world, and we are very happy for that. So that's pretty much it about SHA. So Harout, do you like to present yourself?
Hello, Slim, and hello for all the guests with us. Yes, thank you first of all for this opportunity. My name is Harout. I am contacting you from Lebanon, which is clear because I just lost electricity. Okay. Okay. I'm originally from Syria, been living in Lebanon for almost 10 years. I work as a software developer and in the IT sector, mostly with data-related projects with non-profits. And I use Python for my work on a daily basis. And I loved when you talked to me and you gave me this chance to talk a little bit about Python. And also I would like to talk a little bit about the role of technology in the lives of refugees. How can refugees and displaced people use technology to rebuild their lives and advance their future? So I hope it will be a light, fun, and a good session for all.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an enlightening session. And regarding our participants' interaction, so I think you have some slides and then you will walk us through basics of Python. So
yes.
do you prefer to have the questions on the go, or we leave the questions at the end, like in the Q&A?
I think if we leave them to the end, it's better. Okay. It's better. And just for this, like the dark scene, I will turn off my camera, okay, while sharing the screen. Okay. And we go through the slides, a little bit introduction, and then we go through the coding.
All right, okay. Cool. So just for our participants, so if you have any question, you can drop them in the Q&A section at the bottom bar, and the stage is yours, Harout.
All right. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. All right. So we will start about Python basics. And if you can see that I wrote the Python basics and under it the fun parts. Why the fun parts? Because this session will be a short one, and I will try my best to make it fun because it's not the typical, let's say, the educational programming session. We can start with expectations, what we expect from this session. Will you learn how to program in Python? It could be yes or no. Yes, because we will go through like the very, very basics, and no, because the time is not enough to learn it all. And as the old saying, you can learn programming only by programming. Okay. Let's start with the history of Python. I don't really like those kind of things, so we will move on that. Okay, so what is Python? We always hear that Python is widely used, interpreted, and all of these. You can find this information on Wikipedia, by the way. But I want to focus on the word interpreted, which means that while coding on Python, we don't need special software or compiler to compile the code. Okay, and you will see later on that we just type the code and it will show us the output or the result. It has dynamic semantics used for general purpose programming. This is very important feature of Python programming language, because we will see later on also that there are many wide range of usage of Python nowadays. So it was created by Guido van Rossum. He is from Netherlands. As you see, in 1991, so it's around like 30 years. The name is not the large snake, because Python usually means the large snake, if you will check it in the dictionary. It came from an old British television comedy sketch called Monty Python Flying Circus. So apparently Guido liked this show, this British show, and he used the name Python for the programming language. As he mentioned somewhere, it's a mysterious name. Okay, so again here, why Python? Why all this hype about Python? Why many, let's say, companies, corporates are looking for Python developers? And why all the programmers, the experienced ones, the beginners, all want to learn Python or to know about Python? Okay, so there are many reasons. First of all, Python has a simple syntax, which we will see again while coding, that is very close to the natural language that we use, let's say the English language. So it's easier to read and understand, and it will make building projects more fast and quicker. Also, Python can be used for many different tasks. We will see them again from like web development to machine learning to data science, and it's beginner friendly. That's why people who would love to enter to the field of programming or coding, they will like to learn it. It's open source, which means it's free, even if you are working on a commercial projects. And it has a very rich modules and libraries that will help to expand the capabilities of the language. Also, another feature of the language is that has a large and active community and contributors. So whenever, if you are using Python and you are stuck, you have a problem or challenge that you can't overcome by yourself, you can check it online and look for the answer for your question. Okay. And what is Python used for? I said before that it's used in many different tasks, from web development to machine learning. Let's go in detail once again of all the usage of Python, web development. So Python is used in web development as a backend language. It has ready frameworks to use like Django and Flask, and it can be used in a full stack projects too. And many of well-known, let's say, websites are using Python as their backend. It could be used in scientific computation, as it used in universities and research centers. It used in data analysis and visualization, data science and machine learning, using the libraries and modules that are available via the third-party applications. And also it's used in automation, scripting, in IT tasks, when you have to repeat a task many times in different times during a period of time. So you can automate those tasks by writing Python scripts. And also it's used in software testing and prototyping. And it's used also in everyday tasks. So the last one, the ones like the all are interesting, but the last one is interesting for me. Why? Because it's not only for programmers. So everyday tasks, I mean, like any person who have a tasks on a computer can use Python. What kind of tasks? It could be like keep track of a stock market or crypto prices, like now. So you can use web scraping to get information, real-time information for the stock market or crypto prices. You can, for example, you can send yourself text reminders, or you can design a very small desktop application while working on something online. You can rename large batches of files you are working on, like you can convert text to spreadsheets. Many things you can do for everyday tasks. So who uses Python today? As you see, many corporates and companies are using Python today, like Google, Facebook, Netflix, Spotify, Dropbox, Memo. So here there is one thing I want to draw your attention, that when we say that those using Python, those corporates, it's not that the whole thing is built by Python. No, Python is a content of the software that is built. So it could be many programming language, and Python could be one of them. Okay, so downloading Python, it's very easy. We can go to python.org and we can download it. I won't go through the download process itself, but it's very easy, straightforward. Whoever likes to download it can Google it, and or just go to the official python.org website and follow the instructions there. Using Python, how to use Python? We will see that we can use Python in many ways. We can use it in terminal, or the CMD if you are using Windows machine. We can use it on a text editor and then run it in terminal. We can use it online if there is any online website or any online editor. So many ways to use Python and to write our programs in Python. Okay. So this was the intro, apparently. We have this quick walkthrough where we will code a little bit. We will have the print function of Python, some variables, receiving input, arithmetic operators, logical operators, conditions, loops, functions, and outro. Okay, so Okay, so that was my son asking me something. Okay, here we go. We will start. I will stop sharing the screen here, and we'll share. Okay, other screen where. Okay. Okay. So if you can see, this is my terminal. Okay, it's an Ubuntu terminal, Linux 1. Okay, so once we open the terminal and we type Python 3, voila, we are inside. Here we can type our programs in Python. Okay, so I will start with the famous Hello World code, which is this way in Python. We will print, open parentheses, okay, double quotes, hello world. Close the parentheses. Enter, and here we see the print statement as a result in the next line. So as you see, it's very straightforward, very easy. Just print hello world. So anyone who reads English will know that we are printing hello world. Unlike other programming languages where maybe this output will requires like 2, 3, or 4 lines of code. So if we will break down this code, print is a function, Python function, which is built-in function that allows us to print string on the screen. And to use the function in Python, we need to open parentheses, close parentheses, and put the argument we want in the function. So for this print function, the argument is string hello world, and we typed it and we had it as an outcome. Okay. Comments in Python are very important, like in any other programming language. So if we want to write a comment in Python, this is a comment. Okay. We will talk about variables now. Variables are a key part of all the programming language because it will help us to create data and manipulate it. And in order to assign a value to a variable in Python, we just put the variable name we want, like x is equal, let's say 3, okay? So our variable is x, and we assign number 3 to it. So if we use our print function here, it will give back the value of the variable. Okay, so variables could be anything like numbers, integer numbers, floats like y is equal to 1.5. It could be text, string as a string. It could be let's say a Boolean value like true or false, and it could be, let's say, none, which is non-type. So another special thing about Python, unlike in some other programming language, Python variable types are inferred, meaning that while each variable does have a type, we don't have to state which type is. For example, I didn't state that x is equal, or int x is equal to 3. Okay, so Python will know the type of the variable just when we assign it. And how we know the type of the variables? We can use the function type. For example, type of x, it will return class int, which means that x is integer, or type y, it's float. Type, let's try b. Okay, it's Boolean. Okay, so this was about the variables. Let's now combine the print statement with the variables we had. Okay, we will use now those two for receiving input from user. Okay. Okay. We can receive input from user by using the input function, and we will use that by assigning a variable called name, input function. We open the parentheses and we ask a question: what is your name? Okay. Okay. So it printed out what is your name, and here I can type my name. Okay. And if I want to know the name or the value of the variable, I can say print name, and we had the input with it. Okay, so it's very important to use the input to get data from a user, because at the end we want our program to be interactive with users who are using it. Okay, so now we will go with a little bit of math and arithmetic operators in Python. Okay, like all programming languages, we can use them as a calculator, let's say. So for example, print 10 plus 3, print 10 minus 3, they all will give us the answers. Okay. There is something about division. We have two kinds of divisions in Python. The first one is with single slash. Okay. Okay. It will give us like 3.333, like float type of float number, and the other one will give us double slash, will give us only integer part of the answer. Okay, so we can also, I forgot the modulus also, we can have this print, the modulo, print 3. We will have the remainder of the division of 10 with 3. Okay. So this is all about the arithmetic operators, and I will go a little bit in the Boolean expressions having the true and false values. Okay. So let's say x is equal to 3. Okay, 3 greater than 1. And when I print x, okay, it will show true. Let's change it. Let's take y is equal to 3 greater than 5. Print y. It will give us false. Okay. We can use it more like variables. Let's say a price is equal to 20. If I said print price is equal to 20, it said true. So those are the Boolean expressions we can use for comparison. The greater than, less than, greater than, we can use greater than or equal, less than or equal, equal or not equal, like this one, print price is not equal to 20. False, because the price is equal to 20. Okay. We can use the Boolean and comparison operators in more advanced logical operators, where we can have like and clauses, or clauses and not clauses. But I will not mention them. I will go directly to the conditions. Okay. So just like the other programming language, Python is also has the ability to run different, let's say, different parts of the code based on different conditions. Those conditions are usually Boolean expressions that we will see. I will stop using the terminal for now and code on something called idle. So you can see the different ways to code in Python. So here is, okay. I will share my screen back again. And now I will share the idle shell. Okay. So this is the idle shell. It's a program you can install while installing Python from python.org, and it functions the same way as the terminal. So for example, print hello idle. Okay, it will print back the string that we typed. Okay, let's have some conditions now. Okay, can you see my screen? I opened a new window. Slim, if you can just give me a hint.
Yes, we see your screen.
Okay, the new window, you can see it, right?
No, we see the idle now.
Ah, the idle. Okay. So one moment. Okay. I think I will take the whole screen, which is better. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now you can see the whole screen, right? Okay. Okay. So let's make some conditions. Okay. Let's say here number is equal to, let's say, 5. Okay. If num is greater than 0, okay, we want our program to print number is positive. Okay. Elif, which is another case, number is less than 0. We want our program to print number is negative. And the last case, which is if none of the above is true, the else one will print number is 0. Okay. So to run this program, we click run audio, and we need to save it. Okay, we can save it like test.py. Okay, and the number is positive. Why the number is positive? Because our example is num5. So let's put another number here. Let's put -3, for example, and we run it once again. Okay, the number is negative, and the last case we put 0, and number is 0. Okay, so how the program works, conditions in Python contains a keyword or keywords, which are if, elif, and else. First of all, it will evaluate the condition here, which is Boolean expression, is number greater than 0. It's true. If it's true, if the number is greater than 0, it will print this message. And if this condition is not true, it will go to the next one. And if those two are not true, it will go to the else one, the last one. Okay. So let's go now to the loops concept in Python. Okay. Let's try something here. Okay. So name, okay. SHA, let's try Social Hackers Academy. Okay, so we have a string called name, Social Hackers Academy. We will use the for loops for I in name, print I. So basically, this code will print every letter in the Social Hackers Academy, the string we run. Okay. So as you see, we have the output, every letter in the string we have. Let's try another. Okay. Let's have names now. We will use a new data type called lists. List is a data type in Python that allows us to store few items or items in a variable. Okay. Let's start like this, Alex. Bob. Slim, I have to mention you now. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So those are names in a list. For name in names, print hello, last name. Nice to meet you. Okay. So basically, we will loop over the whole list here. Okay. And our program will print the same message for every name in the list. Okay. So here we can see, hello, Alex, Bob, Slim, Harout, the same message. So we can use loops in a different way using the while loop, but we are not going to do it now. It's just the for loop for this session. I will move now to the last concept that we will go in this session, which is the functions. Okay. So a function is a block of code which only runs when it is called. It will help us to, let's say, to reuse our code without typing it all. And we can pass data to a function. It's known as a parameter. And a function can return data as a result. So to write a function in Python, we will use the keyword def, okay? And the name of our function, let's say square x. And we will use here the return keyword to return, let's say, x times x, okay? So this is very, very simple function we have. If we read it again, it's the square of a number. So if x is a number, the return will be x times x, okay? To test our function, we will run it, okay? So we will write the function square. We will open parentheses and put a number here. Let's say 5. And the return, the answer, which is 25, square 10, 100, square, okay? Like this. Let us have another function, something like, okay. Let's have a function called greet, okay? Name, okay? It will return a greeting. Good day, name, okay? And let's run our function. Okay, greet. Okay. Slim.
I knew it.
Okay, good day, Slim. Okay. So I used the second example just to show that the argument or the parameter we pass to the function could be a number, as in this square example was integer, and in the greet example it was string, okay? String. So this is, let's say, a very short walkthrough of some of the concepts in Python programming language. I would like to add a few things. First of all, for the people who already has experience in programming in other programming language, I'm sure that you know all those concepts, but now you know how you use Python while, let's say, assigning variables or do the other things. And for the people who never programmed before, I hope that this introduction will encourage them to deep dive more in Python and to explore it more, because let's say to be a good programmer, you have to practice it, and you have to program it, and you have to dedicate time, read documentations, comment your codes, research, and all. Okay. Those are some resources and references I used for the slides. All pictures are from Wikipedia for the used pictures. If there is any questions, Salim, I am ready.
Yes, sure. All right. So I don't see questions in the Q&A, but I was thinking of some things. So, for example, the division, the double slash.
Yes.
So you divided 10 by 3 and it gave 10. So in, let's say in JavaScript, this is giving like the floor. So it's like math.floor, which is a built-in function in JavaScript. So let's say does it give you like the number before, or like, I'm not expressing myself here. So it's 3.3333 till 5. So, and it's giving 3. If the float was above 3.5, would it still give 3 or it will give 4?
Let's try it.
Okay.
Okay. So one moment. Okay. So 10, let's say 4. Okay.
So this is 2.5.
Yes,
okay.
Yes, it's 2.5. I think we can use there are a lot of built-in functions in Python. Like you can use the built-in function round to round your answer to the decimal point you want, like 2 decimals point or 3 or 4 or whatever. Okay. Okay. So you can use that. Okay. I think I saw a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Dimitris is asking, Harout, accept my thanks for speaking to us. You made a great presentation about Python. I'm new in programming and I have a few questions for you. How Python can help a front-end developer? Do you believe it will replace JavaScript in the future?
No, I don't. Okay. I don't think that Python will replace JavaScript or any other programming language because every programming language has its specific, let's say, power in the world of programming. JavaScript is a very powerful language, especially in the full stack web development. Python has other let's say, other strong points or other powerful features that is used more in data analysis and machine learning. So I don't think any of them will replace the other.
I totally agree.
And you mentioned that we could use Python in 2 spaces. The term actually not only 2 spaces. We can use in many. But for this demo session, let's say, and for the quick and dynamic typing, I used the terminal. We cannot create program using Python from the terminal, right? Actually, not. It's possible, but not for that. Let's say the large pieces of code. In terminal, usually Python is more used to run scripts, automation scripts, or any other scripts. But let's try something. Okay. I need my. Okay. One moment. Okay. let's try something now. Okay. So, okay. So I opened Visual Studio Code. Okay. Okay. You can see it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And I will save this file on my desktop as hello.py. Okay. So usually this is how you can use a text editor. And let's say print hello world. Okay. Okay. File, save. Okay. So can go. Okay. Okay. So I am back in my terminal now. Okay. Or it's command prompt. It's CMD in Windows. Okay. So I will go to download to desktop. Where is my code? Okay. Let's open desktop here. Okay. So I am on desktop and I will run this code. No, I'm in the downloads once again. Okay. Okay. I will just type Python. Okay. Hello.py. Okay. And here I see the output. Okay. So we can use a text editor and see the output in terminal. But backing to the question itself. Okay. Usually when programming, like let's say a big program or writing many lines of code, for sure we use the text editor and run the code in terminal. Okay, so okay, I will go with this one. Could you can you read it, please?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
So
Next
question, yeah. So could you show us some database connecting code? How does Python select from a table, etc.?
Okay. I can't show now because I didn't prepare anything for the database. But Python has a very, let's say, a special way of dealing with database using something we call ORM, which is object relational mapping. It is a technique that lets you query and manipulate data from database using an object-oriented paradigm and in Python code. Like you write a Python code where you can query a database. Okay, maybe another time if we want to go more deep dive in those topics, we can do it. Okay, what do you think, Slim?
Yeah, we definitely we can cover some other aspect of using Python
because this session is very
beginner friendly,
like beginner and yeah. Totally. Okay, so another question was
so just pick the question and I will read it for you.
Okay, so what is object-oriented programming? Okay, so object-oriented programming, it's like let's say the whole concept of the OOP that Python uses objects and classes in programming. Again, that like you can create your own data type. You can create your classes, and you can create your own data type objects and use them. And again, I didn't prepare anything for it, but we can have another session. Maybe if you are guys are interested about backend development using one of the Python frameworks, for example, Flask or Django, we can go through all those topics.
In an introduction, you mean?
Yes, like an introduction. We can do it.
Definitely cool. We can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So Nick is sharing the link here.
Is
tutorials
Python,
points.
Okay. Is Python enough to get us a job? And do you have any tips for learning it? Well, Python alone is not enough to get a job. It depends on what kind of job. For example, for web development, it's, as I mentioned, it's used in backend development. So you need to know some front end, something like any JavaScript libraries like Vue or React. So that way it will be better. This is about, let's say, about web development. When it comes to data analysis or data engineering or machine learning, you should know other skills, not only Python. Maybe you should have some SQL. You should know some algorithms and other things. So it depends on for what you need to use Python. But in general, Python developers are very in demand, and you can find many job listings that are asking for Python developers nowadays. Which IDE is better for use in Python? There are many, like PyCharm, Spider. There are many, but it depends on preferences of the developer. So usually, for myself, I use Visual Studio.
Our students as well use Visual Studio Code.
Yes.
So that's cool. And just to add something to Marwan when he asked what means object-oriented programming. So also JavaScript is an object-oriented programming. And at some point when we reach JavaScript, you will learn about this more in detail, Marwan. Just to mention that Marwan is one of our students. So, yeah.
And the big question is, what is job position I am gonna apply for after learning Python? There are many, as I mentioned. So, for example, mostly nowadays they are asking for a Python developer on the web. It could be Django developer or Flask or any project that they are using Python as a backend, especially projects that they are using APIs. So you can develop APIs using Python in the backend. And also as I mentioned, in machine learning, data science, data engineering positions, all are required to know Python and the Python libraries they are using, like Keras, TensorFlow, and many other libraries that they are used in the industry. Okay.
And another question from Theodore in the chat. What data analysis developer do exactly?
Could you show us?
It's in the chat.
Okay. What's the question? Okay, sorry.
What data analysis developer do exactly? But I don't think it's data analysis developer. The job.
There is no data analysis developer, but usually Python is used in data analysis. Like you will try to summarize, let's say, a data set you have, to have a summary of the data you have, like, and use other Python libraries to plot the data and to have like a visualization of the data. You can use some Python libraries to build even dashboards, online interactive dashboards of the data you have. So there are many things you can do while using Python in data analysis, but it's different from the Python development itself. Okay.
Right. So I think we don't have any other question. I do have one last
yes, please.
question
Yes.
for the for loop. So when you are using the for I in names, for example,
Yes.
the I is the element from that list.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So how do you get the index of the element?
The index of the element?
Yeah.
Okay. It depends. For example, if we are looking to the strings, let's say, okay, let me share. Okay, let me share my screen back here. I want. Okay. Let's share the whole screen. Okay. So I don't want this. Okay. So let's take a string. It's called Slim. Okay. Okay. So S0 will gives us the first letter. Okay. Let's say S1, it will gives us the second letter. But was this your question, Slim, or
no? From the for loop, with the for loop. I mean.
Okay.
Is it doable?
Okay, so for letter in Slim, letter in S. Okay. I use this example, right? Okay, print letter. Okay. Okay.
And here it's giving us the letter itself.
Yes. So your question is?
Can we get the, let's say, instead of having Slim as output, to have 0, 1, 2, 3?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can have it. Yes, we can have it. It should be the values. It should be the values of the other way. Okay. S dot value. Okay. Let me try something. There is a built-in function. There is a built-in function to get the index. Okay. One minute. Because those built-in functions. Okay. Okay. Should be, let's say, index. Is it s dot index or s dot index? Okay, so let's try it. It should be this one, s dot index. If I put L, for example. Okay. It is this one, I think. Okay. It should be this one. Okay. So we can show for letter in S, it will be print s dot index, and we put here letter. Okay. String letter or letter. Okay, let me try this one letter first. Okay. Okay. So it's the index built-in function. Okay. Okay. So any other questions, Slim, or you are muted.
So in the Q&A, sorry, we don't have any other question. Okay. And in the chat, We have Nick saying thank you for the Python lesson. This was time well spent. Thank you, Nick. So yes, totally. Thank you very much, Harout, for this very nice introduction to Python programming. Myself, I learned a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure our attendees as well. So I think, yeah. If you have something else to add, or if anyone else has a question before we close, because I think we reached the time to finish this event.
I would like to just go a little bit about the technology part.
Yes, sure.
We have still time, or?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So just want to share my screen back. So, okay. Okay. I wanted to mention about this part two, the role of technology, and how can technology help refugees to rebuild their lives. This is because although I work in tech, or I spend my time with machines, but I do also work with people, especially with refugees. I've been working with refugees for a few years from now. It's through my volunteering with Techfugees, which I will talk about it a little bit. But first of all, I would like to talk a little bit about how technology can help refugees. Like, it will take like 5 or 6 minutes for people who are in hurry or would like to go. So, as you know that the refugees crisis, it's very old one. Okay, and let's say when a person becomes a refugee, it doesn't mean they only lose their home or they will lose their country. No, it's not just like that. It means that they will be disconnected from, let's say, every aspect of life, including friends, relatives, maybe siblings, parents, education, work, social network, and everything. So what is the role of technology in all of this? Technology is a tool and a solution for refugees to start over again, to rebuild their lives. And as you see, during the last years, like the Iraqi refugees crisis, Syrian refugees, Afghan refugees, many organizations around the world started to use technology to help and support refugees. By the way, what Social Hackers Academy is doing is an example of this, when they are helping refugees and displaced people to learn how to code and get job in a tech sector. And many of organizations are doing that. For me, I had a similar experience when I moved to Lebanon. I had the chance to study with MIT React, which is MIT Refugee Action Hub. It's an initiative by the MIT University, where I learned how to code, and I learned many things related to computer science and data science, and I also learned the importance of networking and communication, and it was let's say a very impactful experience in my life and in my professional career itself. So what I want to say to our audience now, Salim, that it's very important. It's very important to learn. It's very important to improve. For the first step, the English language we have. and to use our language skills to learn more, to use the opportunities that we have, because the technology is limitless. Like every people can access it, and we can use it to change our lives and to change our future to the better. So in the last 3 years, I've been volunteering with Techfugees. So who are Techfugees? Techfugees are one of those actors in the field of helping refugees through tech. It's an impact-driven global organization, and it exists to empower displaced people and supporting tech innovations designed by, with, and for them. This is the formal definition of Techfugees, but for me, Techfugees is a very big network of professionals, of people who cares, that would love to support refugees through technology. Okay, so what we do in Techfugees? Those are some of the Techfugees activities during the last year and this year. So many things like providing offline education for refugees, like the Knowledge is Freedom project that been launched in Uganda and Kenya, connecting the unconnected in France, where they help refugees to be connected, providing them connection. Women labor inclusion, again in France, Greece, and Italy. It's another program that help women refugees to land tech jobs. Digital upskilling. It's an scholarships in partnership with Grow by Google to help refugees to get tech skills. And also the latest one is called Digital Corridor, which is our newest program, and we launched it in Lebanon. So Digital Corridor is a program that train and enable refugees to get skills and to start work remotely. Why working remotely? Because one of the main challenges for refugees in Lebanon is to get job and to work. So remote work was the solution that we came through our work in Lebanon. For Digital Corridor, we have many partners, and we launched the program before 2 weeks in 3 cities in Lebanon: Tripoli, Bekaa, Beirut. So I want to say just a few things before I finish. The Digital Corridor, it's one of the programs that focus on how to get the refugees the skills they need for remote work by having a few courses, the English language courses, basic IT skills, and also training them on a skill to work remotely, which is the data labeling skill. Those are some of the peaks of our students that started the training. Okay. Okay. And as the final to close the session, I would like to thank you, Slim, and thank you, SHA, for this invitation. And also, I would like to encourage our audience, especially the refugees and displaced people, to never stop learning and never stop trying, because tech is always there. Tech will help them. And why not? They not only rebuild their future, they will help to rebuild the other people's future in their community by getting into new tech solutions that will help refugees and the displaced people everywhere. So this is my wish, and hope you enjoyed the session.
We did. a lot. And we have Alia here saying thank you for this intro of Python and for telling us some of your experiences with the refugees environment and tech field. It was impressive, and indeed it was really impressive, and you are doing a great job there in Lebanon and in other places in the world, around the world, as I can see. So thank you very much, Harout, for your time and for this very nice and enlightening presentation. And we will discuss later on definitely how to have another event, maybe to dig deeper in some other aspects in Python, if you are up to that, of course.
Yes, sure. Thank you too, Slim.
I see the light is back now.
Yes, the light is back at the end.
Thanks.
So there is light at the end.
Yeah, always. Thank you very much, Harout. Thank you everyone for attending today's event. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.